Good morning. My name is Karen Kitchens, the State Publications Librarian here at the Wyoming State Library. Welcome to this webinar on how to search the new interface of Wyoming Inventors Database. I think that you'll discover that this new interface is very user-friendly and allows for increased searching options and displays. So we are going to start. Going to dive right in and head to the Wyoming State Library website. So the database can be accessed in two different modes from here. We can scroll down to the icons that list the Wyoming State Library Digital Collection Suite, and these are all the databases that are curated here at the Wyoming State Library. And from here we would select Wyoming Inventors, but we're going to scroll up. And this is the second way to access it, is I'm going to hit Collections, and the drop-down menu appears, and I'm going to hit Digital Collection Suite and go over to Wyoming Inventors Database. The Wyoming Inventors Database indexes United States patents dating back to 1867, in which one or more of the inventors lived within the Cowboy State's present-day borders. Each record links to the United States Patent and Trademark Office, where you can view the full patent application, including drawings and specifications. From the first Wyoming patent for improved cartridge belt to cutting-edge innovations in spider silk and communications, Wyoming Inventors is an outstanding resource for research and genealogy. So this is our landing page for Wyoming Inventors, and this fellow is one of Wyoming's most prolific inventors. That's John D Patterson. He had 69 patents under the name John D Patterson and one under John Douglas Patterson. He worked for Remington Arms and the U.S. government. His patents ranged from 1909 to 1944, and he did mainly firearm designs. Let's look at this site. We're going to go across the tabs here. Here's our homepage, which will take us right back here. About. This is for information about the database itself. Contact us. Here's some contact information. If you have questions or concerns or comments, you can email here the reference request, or this is my email here. You just select this and it'll go directly to me. We've added some useful links for those who might be interested in looking to get a patent, news and updates. And I will be adding news and updates as inventions come in and I start adding more. This one I just recently added and thought it was really kind of interesting. And this one is for a catching system on a dryer, and that's in news and updates. Search help. Here's a quick guide. If you have questions about Boolean searching or search tips, you can click here. And Wyoming Inventor Faqs. This is just a catch-all for all kind of interesting Wyoming Inventor Faqs. This link here leads to a database of Wyoming women inventors, and they are from 1890 all the way up to 2018. But we're going to go back to home. Looking at this page, when we scroll down, this is just a different way to access the resources that we link to up here. We can also select the Explore Wyoming Digital Collection Suite, and this will lead us back to the Digital Collection landing page. To actually search, we want to click here. This takes us to our new database interface. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this screen and then we'll do some searching. In the upper left-hand corner is the search box. From here we can choose various ways to search, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Here we can add a search filter. For example, if we want to also add the notes field, we could do it here. Over to the upper right-hand corner are our displays, and again, I will talk about that when we have some results to change the display on. Here's more information, help, and this is an extensive help link on searching Novation, and this is the software in which inventors in all of our databases live. and more about innovation itself. Themes here, you can change the look of this search while you're here now. And then here's our browse. So we can select browse or unselect browse. We're going to come down and we're going to scroll over. Here's where we would filter our searches and then also save and export and download. And we'll walk through a couple of those. Fields is a tab where you can select which fields you want to view in the results that you get and also the fields you want to search particularly. So that's fields. Libraries, there's only one, the Wyoming Inventors. So we're going to go back to filters. And here in our upper left again is our search box. The middle here is a way to browse by last name, by city, or by year. Let's do a couple searches. So there are several ways that we can search: keyword, concept, pattern, and exact. The keyword search is a primary query type that accepts plain English queries with Boolean logic. Semantic expansion is automatically performed on all query words. So, for example, let's do Cody and firearm. So I added the Boolean operator and I'm in the keyword search. Then I click on this spyglass and here are results. Notice there's only 3 results, and how this read it is it went Cody and the term firearm somewhere within either the title of the patent or within the metadata. Now to close out a search, you simply click the X. So let's try it again. Cody. I'm going to do my Boolean operator and firearm. But this time I'm going to do a concept search. Now this is a primary query type that accepts plain English queries without Boolean operators. So the way it's going to read it is it reads the and not as a Boolean operator but as a term. So when I click search, notice I don't get any hits. So what that was is it was reading it as one of the inventions or one of the applications that have Cody and firearm all together. And we don't have any that say Cody and firearm. So we want to get out of that search. A pattern search. A pattern search is a primary query type that processes plain English queries but tolerates spelling differences in either the body of the text. So it might do firearm or firearms. Exact search. This search type provides a way to find documents with only the desired term. So let's try a search on this. We're going to do exact. And here's our hit list. And notice that each one only says firearm, but not firearms. Let's go and do a new search. We're going to do a keyword search. So we'll stay with the default keyword search, and we're going to search the term Cody. Let's say we're looking for a patent application by Buffalo Bill Cody. So we just enter Cody and hit search. Notice the number of results we have here. Lots of results. Now, since we didn't put any limiters on this, this is going to pull up any patent in the database that has Cody either in the city, the title, the name, somewhere on here, or the assignee. And we'll talk about what the assignee is. So let's see what happens when we X out of this. And we're going to do Wyoming Inventor. So now we're going to just specify Cody, and we get a lot less results. However, it still doesn't go directly to William Cody or Buffalo Bill Cody. It's going to read any patent where the Wyoming Inventor has Cody within the name. So here we can look at our limiters on the left-hand side, and we're reading Cody somewhere within the Wyoming Inventor, be it his city or name. And this happens to be William F. Cody here. That's Buffalo Bill. So I'm going to select that. Now, this takes us to the patent record. Notice that the application itself is not visible from this screen. Remember, our database links to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office patent database, which contains the scanned images of the entire document. So why don't we see the application here? Because it doesn't contain the application here, it just links to it. Now notice that last name Cody is hyperlinked, so if we select that, it will list, the database will list all inventors with the name Cody. We can select the city. Now this lists all inventions with the city listed as Cody and year, and this will sort through all inventions in this database from the year 1918. So how do we actually view the patent? From here, we're going to select View Patent at USPTO and open that in the different tab. So you might be thinking, okay, I don't actually see it on this page. No, you won't, because when you click on the USPTO link in the Wyoming Inventors Database, you'll be taken to the patent located in the USPTO website. Patents appear in two ways on the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office site. Only the most current patents from 1976 forward will appear in textual form here. Any patents prior to 1976 will not have a text form here. They only added the inventor's name, the patent number, and the patent assignment date. But old or new, either one, to actually view the patent, we select images. And here's the scanned image of the application from the U.S. Patent and Trademark website. From here, you can scroll through the pages or select the full PDF. You can also download or print from this site. So let's go back to the Wyoming Inventors. Remember, to get out of a search, you simply click X, and now we have a whole new search that we can do. We're going to look for inventions with the assignee of the University of Wyoming. The assignee is the organization or person to whom the inventor transferred the legal rights to the patent. The assignee is generally, but not always, the inventor's employer. So what the database did was look at and find all those patents within our database where you can see the University of Wyoming is somewhere in the assignee field. This meant that these patents were assigned the legal rights to the University of Wyoming. Most typically, they would be professors or researchers that work for the university. Now let's look at, we have a number of results. So let's look at the display. The current default display for the database is row format, as we're looking at right now. Let's look at the column format. Notice the difference here. The column format puts all the records within a format where we can sort, and this is what's really different about this database platform versus the old one, is we can sort. We can sort by title, by assignee, by Wyoming Inventor, so it'll go alphabetical. We can look at patent number, and this is very useful if you want to put your search results in any kind of order according to your criteria, either inventor or title or patent number. In the upper right-hand corner, there's also the thumbnail format. Since there are no thumbnails attached to these records, it's really not a format that you would probably want to use for this database. That format is more useful, say, for newspapers or trademarks. So we're going to go back to column format. Okay, let's look at, while we're up here in the upper right-hand corner, we have column format, row format, thumbnail format, and also we keep scrolling over here. Here's where we can select all the records on the page if we want to export or download, but we don't want all of them. We'll come back to that in a second. Here's where we would export our results. Side-by-side view is also one that doesn't work very well with this database. Really is not a good view for this particular data. So let's go back. How do you export or print? So we're going to select several records. Here, this is our selection. We come back up to the upper right, select the arrow that points downward, and select Export Results. We can choose the format that we want it. Usually CVS is the best way you might want to do it. Our package name. We just do Wyoming Inventors, and then we would click Export. I'm going to close out. We can also print from here. So let's say we want to print out our results and take our list with us. I'm going to click here. We definitely want to include all the metadata, and the format is text, and it will put it in a nice format that from here we could print. We're going to get out of this search. Here's another interesting feature that's very different in this platform versus the old platform. In this platform, we can search by title, for example, of the patent. Prior we couldn't. So if we want to look at, say, all the patents in Wyoming that deal with golfing or some kind of device, we can type in a search term and it brings up all the patents that list our search term somewhere within the title. That was not an option in our last database. So we're going to get out of that. Let's look at browse. Browsing is a useful feature if you want to select by last name or by city. We can select last name, and this loads all of our inventors by the last name, the first letter of the last name. So we can select, what are all the inventors with the last name starting with T? Here they are. And then we can sort. We can browse by city. Let's say we're looking at all the inventions by the city Lance Creek. So this lists all the Wyoming inventors who list Lance Creek as the city of their residence. By year, and again we can sort and then close out that search. You can also type in a particular year in the filters box if you would like to not browse and you know exactly I'm going to look, say, for all the patents from 2019. Here they are. And then from here, we could choose if we want to look at our limiters here. So a lot of different features available with this platform versus our old platform. That's a really quick overview of our Wyoming Inventors. Pretty simple, easy to use, and it allows you to manipulate your searching. Are there any questions? If you have any questions on this database, or you'd like me to talk with you a bit more about it, you're welcome to send me an email. And I hope you have enjoyed this presentation of the Wyoming Inventors Database. And I really hope that you get in there and look around at some of the fascinating inventions by Wyoming inventors. Thank you for attending and have a wonderful day.